next speaker, we're so pleased to have him from Singapore coming to us, is Reuben Jayasinghe. His official title is the ASEAN Digital Innovation Lead for Amazon Web Services. And you'll be pleased to know that Amazon has, I think, actually a very big presence in Philippines. Cebu is one of their I think, the largest presence that they have here. I think I'll let Reuben tell you about it, but I was so pleased to see how large an operation they have in the Cebu area and across Philippines, both BPO back office shared services facilities and commercial operations. Reuben does a lot of work with organizations in Philippines and across the nation and really helping them move forward with digital innovation. So we always like to have someone talking about this key area at our events, and Reuben is the guy for this one. So please welcome Reuben Jayasinghe, ASEAN Digital Innovation Lead for Amazon Web Services. Good to see you again, Reuben.
So Amazon, we opened our customer service office in Cebu just over 3 years ago, and the site employs over 1,000 people. And it supports customers around the world, providing 24/7 world-class customer service, in that call center type arrangement. Now, our company is really a company of builders, and we look to bring varying backgrounds, ideas, points of view to inventing on behalf of customers. And our diverse perspectives really come from many sources. It really includes gender, race, age, national origin, sexual orientation, culture, education, and even professional and life experience as well. And our ability to innovate on behalf of customers relies on the perspectives and knowledge of people from all backgrounds. So when we look at our customer service center in Cebu, we've got a range of occupations in there, including customer service associates, team managers, group manager roles, and so on. And we were very excited to invest in Cebu and work with such talented people, especially Filipinos, who are known to bring high levels of experience and passion to their work. Now, the launch of the site in Cebu followed a successful launch of Amazon Web Services, AWS, in the country in 2016. And AWS Philippines has been integral to the growth of AWS for Southeast Asia for our business. Now, in the community, we have a strong focus to foster diversity and inclusion and look for ways to amplify underrepresented voices and empower diverse communities. Our technology opens opportunities for entrepreneurs, authors, creators, builders, and much more. Now, as you mentioned earlier, I work in that digital innovation space, in the digital innovation team for Amazon Web Services, and I've got the pleasure of working with a number of companies right across the Philippines. My role is very much focused on helping customers to develop new products and services that they can then bring to market. And with COVID-19, we're seeing companies and individuals facing unprecedented headwinds. Each are tactically addressing these in their own way, all these challenges. But one common thread that I'm seeing is that companies recognize the need to innovate their way forward, to move out of the challenges that they have and to serve their customers in a different way. And sometimes we find that sharing Amazon's journey has been helpful for some of our customers to approach innovation in a different way. So if we start with our mission and what we share with customers is really around the fact that we aspire to be Earth's most customer-centric company. And the words that make up that mission are very important and deliberate, the way that we place those. At first glance, it might seem broad. They're not the words aren't, don't direct down to any particular market or segment and not specific to any type of customer. But our customers are actually worldwide. They include consumers, sellers, content creators, developers, enterprises, and much more. But while the mission's broad, it's also very specific. It's laser focused on the customer experience. And this helps us making decisions and deciding what's best for customers, helping prioritize the customer experience or their need in times like this. Our journey reflects that customer centricity in Amazon as well, and the way we've innovated and grown on behalf of our customers. We started as an online bookstore originally, then we expanded into categories like CDs, DVDs, and then into a range of products that are now sold worldwide. We now offer cloud computing with AWS. We've got hardware devices like Kindle, Echo. We're a TV and film production studio, and we've got physical stores with Amazon Books, Amazon Go, and much more. Now, these represent a wide range of businesses, and you might wonder how or why Amazon got involved in each one of these. Well, it all starts with how we innovate around customers. And the common thread across all our businesses is that we started with a customer need or pain point, and we worked backwards from that to invent on their behalf. And this is very important, especially in these trying times in the pandemic. Let me give you an example of the way Amazon continually changes around customer need. See, 20 years after setting up the Amazon.com business and disrupting the physical bookstores, we did something a little odd, and people questioned this initially. And what we did is we started with customers, and we worked backwards to re-envision the bookstore experience. And in 2015, we opened brick and mortar bookstores again. Now, why would we do that? Because the world evolves and changes. People's needs are always changing. And by 2015, people were feeling nostalgic about the bookstore experience. Vinyl music was coming back into fashion. And people were looking to unplug from their always-on connected lives. But our bookstore isn't an ordinary bookstore. We had 20 years of data on how people shop for books. For example, data tells us that people really do judge a book by its cover. We saw that the vast majority of people were zooming into the cover of a book before they looked at anything else. So in our bookstores, the cover is facing out in the way that we place the books. Now, it's not the most efficient use of space, but it does align to what delights customers. And we also had data on what people like to read in particular areas. And we can tailor the selection of books in each store. So continually listening to customers means that if customers change, we change. So when we consider what next in our business, we start with customers and then we work backwards from their needs. We begin by immersing ourselves in the customer. Who are they? What are their needs? Where do they have pain or frustration in their lives? And this all comes back to data, deeply understanding customers and working backwards from these needs to invent ways to surprise and delight all of our customers. Now, at Amazon Web Services, around 90% of the features we develop come directly from hearing from customers. It's the other 10% that comes from really being close enough to customers to understand and invent on their behalf when they don't or can't articulate. Now, Amazon Go is a great example of working backwards to invent on behalf of customers. The entire business was not driven by wanting to get into the physical grocery space, but rather simply trying to address a persistent and shared customer problem. Is there a way to remove the pain and time of having to wait in line and checkout when you've been to the grocery store? Now, Amazon began and is guided by three big ideas: customer obsession rather than competitor focus, a passion for inventing, and long-term thinking. And our approach to innovation manifests in what we call our day one culture, that there's always opportunity to do more on behalf of the customer. Now, our approach to staying customer obsessed and the way we innovate is underpinned by four pillars: our culture that enables innovation, how we organize our business to optimize execution, thirdly, mechanisms that we use to drive customer-centric product and service development, and finally, our technology through AWS that enables us to do rapidly and low-cost experiment. These four pillars enable us to push innovation to the edge of our business, enabling everyone in our company to innovate on behalf of the customer. Now, it's important to note there's many different ways to innovate, and we don't claim that ours is the best form of innovation. It's certainly not perfect by any means, but rather it's what we've adopted, what works well for us. And we're happy to share our learnings and approach, as we want to help every customer that wants or needs to innovate, especially in these times. I truly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today, and I hope that what I've shared has given you some insight into how we look at innovation at Amazon and how it drives us to continually reinvent the customer experiences. Thank you, Richard.